Hello guys, welcome back to Bitcoin TA, or just overview of Bitcoin, what has happened in the last 24 hours. So we were talking about right here how it could be a bearish divergence, and so what got us there is that these were closing up, but then Bitcoin decided to go past 11K, test it, and we did get rejected. Sorry, I'm hiccuping. We did get rejected. But again, this was given at the point. Now, this trend line right here was drawn, like you could tell last video, was drawn right here. So we are finding resistance in a downward trend. So technically, right now, should you be bullish or bearish on Bitcoin? It is, I would say more bearish, just because the lack of support we're getting, because we're just dumping right now. We're trying to get support at the 50 EMA, which that is really crucial in understanding where Bitcoin's going to go. Now, I did draw this line. We did not hit it yet. So we are in a downward spiral of being sold. So this could be a bear trap. But again, we're getting resistance going down. So we have high VPVR levels. That's why we bounced. Next high VPR levels would be in the range of 10,685, right above our support that we built up that we were talking about a while back. So Bitcoin is just doing its thing. And so what caused the massive, I guess, well, as you see this, it was a massive sell. And what caused the pump? What was causing this movement upward? Well, there was news that Kraken is becoming the first crypto bank, which is, I don't think that's 100% accurate, because you got crypto.com and all that. But Kraken is going to become, sorry, my nose, is going to become a crypto bank. So that's what caused the pump. So now they're just selling off, because nothing has changed besides that, besides major hedge funds getting bullish on Bitcoin. So should you go long right now, I would just hold off. And so if you took my advice that hitting the 10,800 as your new stop loss for your profits, if you were still in the trade, even though I sold right over here. No, I sold, I forgot where I sold. I think I talked about last video. I think I talked about, maybe I hit like right here. I don't know. I made a lot of money, so I'm in a short personally. Just not the money that I've made from this. I just took a small little short with some, I guess since today was payday. So I took a small short yesterday, and so we're up right now. It's like up 180%, which is pretty cool. It's like a 70-80x. Because when you deal with low amounts of money, you tend to want to take bigger risk, and the bigger risk could pay off. Now, there's another news that I do want to talk about. Now, what's good to see me? As you know, the famous CME gap right there is between, we're going to go down here, it's between 9,600 and the 9,940. Now, I just want to put this on people's radar, just to understand. Even though I said I don't believe we'll go under 10K, there's something that's pretty crazy that's happening in the options market of Bitcoin, is that people are buying the $9,000 Bitcoin option call or put. Now, what does that mean if you don't know options? Well, the best summarized options is you're basically buying a future price at a given expiration date. Now, the expiration date is just a couple days away. So people are predicting that Bitcoin's going to have a massive drop like this right here, because we have not retraced this entire pump yet. We just dumped. So we could just be going to go roll over and dumping lower. Now, is that possible? It is possible. So it just will be breaking a lot of VPVR levels. Even though the VPR levels isn't as built as this, as we went sideways, we're just in a stagnant range. We were planning on a breakout. We got the breakout. But now we're stagnating between the EMAs on the CME. Now we go look at the DXY. DXY has pumped. Again, like we were talking about last video, it created a sort of double bottom, and this is where, wow, the zoomed out, you can really see where all of these lines are given point. So the US dollar is just trading in a sideways pattern. Right now it's dropping, that's pretty much given. But Bitcoin dropped because also look at DXY, it pumps. So if you want to compare it, you can say they're correlated. I don't. Let's go look at ETH. ETH is interesting. ETH is, again, going sideways. It's not doing anything. I know, like we were talking about before. ETH is just, it's riding the wave of DFI. And there's also the ETH 2.0, which I know a lot of people are saying you can go on Ethereum subreddit, you can go on cryptocurrency. They're all going to talk about ETH 2.0. But with the past performance of them promising ETH 2.0, because ETH 2.0 was supposed to be released last year, but then it got delayed, pushed back. Stuff wasn't right. So you're really speculating on hoping they don't delay. Now, if they don't delay, you could see the whole crypto markets boom. Even though it's just this cryptocurrency, this is one of the biggest ones, number 2. So you're going to see Bitcoin pump massively. Now, with the $9,000 options call, with the $9,000 option call, they're planning on that this is just a fake rally. We do have one more wave down, which got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with another pump down here. So they are planning on this to be an Elliott wave type format, which you go 1, 2, 3, and then you swing down lower, creating a new bottom. That is the idea behind this option call, which makes sense. But again, it's going to be really hard to break that 10K psychological support. Now, if we go under 9K, like I always say, under 9K, you buy everything. Second mortgage that house. Not financial advice, though. I'm just saying, long term, not long term, but next year we're hitting all-time highs. So if we go under 9K, you're buying. So yeah, Grayscale also took a pretty nice dump. I did sell all my shares up here. Now it's down here, so I don't know. I'm gonna buy. I'll have to see how much more shares I can get with Grayscale. Because Grayscale is, if you don't have this in your Roth, I do recommend it. Just because what they do, not similar to Riot, but they use money that you invest in Grayscale. They buy Bitcoin on your behalf, and they have a shit ton of Bitcoin. Riot has gone, it did pump. Let's open our lines. It did pump up there. Now we're trading about the 50 EMA. Again, if Bitcoin takes that massive dump, we could be looking at 260 or 239. So you could have buys down there. Just wait until Riot hits there, or get close to the 288 range. We're gonna look. Okay, so again, longs are, I think those are here. Yeah, that's good. We're just gonna extend this line. This is a long-term uptrend line that the longs are following. So longs are slowly getting built up, just like Bitcoin, just slowly getting built up. So a massive dump in Bitcoin will destroy these. Now we look at the shorts. Now the shorts, they're just barcoding. They're not doing anything. So what's really going to happen? They're above the EMA. So we could expect a breakout from the shorts, which means a Bitcoin dump is prominent in the future. Nano, screw Nano. Okay, Polkadot. Now you look at Polkadot. Polkadot is now trading sideways again. It doesn't know what it wants to do. You see this high buy volume pushing up, high sell volume, or 2 high volume sticks, but then a sell volume not really pushing the price. Now it's pumping. So it really depends on who's building the support. We won't really know until what Ethereum does. Now, again, we were talking about these ranges where Wi-Fi could retrace. Again, is it 290, 781, or is it 27,660? I'm going to put this in the range of possibilities of a green. Yeah, yeah, this is going to be green. What the hell? Oh, I already clicked it, my bad. So green. These are possibility ranges. So we topped out. We created a, I don't know, it's quadruple top, double top, whatever you want to call it. What has been selling off because, again, you buy, something's happening, Coinbase announces we pumped to all-time highs, and then it's dumping. Again, I don't understand this project, so I'm not invested. I just want to point out just where support ranges could go. You could potential go as low as the 19,579 to 14,862. So if you do buy one Wi-Fi, it is very possible. And there are rumors right now, not with Wi-Fi, but in general with all the DFIs, that there's a potential exit scams gonna undergo pretty soon in the DFI. Not saying Wi-Fi is an exit scam, nor Polkadot, which I don't believe in Polkadot. I don't believe in Wi-Fi. I'm more of a ZRX fan. And you're like, why ZRX? Well, ZRX is the bridge between Ethereum and these DFI projects. So I believe ZRX is probably the most undervalued asset in cryptocurrency when it comes to DFI. It's just my personal opinion. So I'm a huge supporter of ZRX, and they're not owned by Coinbase, but Coinbase funded their development team. So there is a lot of money backing this project up. So if you're in the DFI, you should have ZRX in your portfolio, in your DFI portfolio, and so ZRX should be the Bitcoin of the DFI. Besides Ethereum, you can debate which one, Ethereum or ZRX, but I think ZRX should play a major role. Maybe Ethereum would be the Bitcoin of DFI, and ZRX would be the Ethereum of DFI. That's just my personal opinion. You can do what you want. So stocks are trading a little down, 0.6%, not bad. Amazon taking a hit. Yep. So down here, lost support for the 50 EMA, try the pump, now it's dumping back down. Yeah, everything's down. Guinness is down. Nikola, as we talked about last video. Again, okay, so I want to just go over some of these before, not this right here. I want to go over what this line was. Now, this is where SPAC and those acquisitions were really pumping in. Nikola was probably the first acquisition to create a bubble-like instant. Now, people don't know, in cryptocurrency, bubbles happen every couple years when Bitcoin goes towards an all-time high. So Nikola pumped all the way $932. Now, this green line right here, now this would be potential of going back up, but this green line right here, the 2788, that is pretty much I think it was a 90 to, let's check it out. This would be a 70% correction. That's technically a bubble correction, and we did correct it. I did put this pink box down here in case we went further down, which this would be basically a 90% correction from all-time high. But then we bounced above it, and we just kept bouncing, and then when we're trying to break this resistance right here, it's ironic how we hit resistance and then that report came out. But now we're just going sideways, because they're really debating whether this report is just a bunch of crap. So this Heinesberg, I think their name is, whatever, they release these reports for basically every company they don't believe in. Every company. Now, they probably have a long on Tesla and a short on Nikola. as their name, Nikola Tesla. He's a famous person. Maybe you should go look him up on YouTube. But again, the question is, how do you value a company that's not competing with Tesla? They clearly stated that, and they're in a new energy market, hydrogen fuel cell. Now, if you don't know about hydrogen fuel cell, you should go look up space travel, because many private investment firms believe hydrogen fuel cell is the future of space travel. Just because you can go to the moon, and there's scientists are hypothetically speaking that there is going to be hydrogen there, and that's going to supply the future of space travel. So hydrogen fuel cell is a huge technology. And so the question is, what is Nikola World going to bring? Now, when it went up here, it looked like it was just going to stay stable support, but now YouTubers have beat it down, and now they're coming out saying that Nikola, and now they're saying, I saw a few videos titles, that Nikola's not a scam. They got it wrong. Because they found out that the Heinsberg is just full of crap, and both of them are getting investigated, but I honestly believe the Heinsberg people are ones that are going to probably get sued. But again, they do this for many companies. You can go look up their entire track record. All they do is produce FUD for companies, to be honest. Now, I'm not saying that Nikola is a great company. It's ironic how they have to name them after Tesla and go into the green energy field. But again, this is a pure speculative play. And Tesla price evaluation, we can go look up Tesla's. So, wow, I haven't. Holy crap! It's hit all these lines of support. So it's potentially, Tesla could potentially go to $529 if it continues on this uptrend since it broke out. That's price target, $529.89. But again, Tesla's evaluation is even speculative because it's in a downward trend. But it's speculative because their valuation is over the amount of money they make. But then how do you value Tesla being a green energy technology company that's also funding? I don't know if they're funding SpaceX. I'm pretty sure there's something between them two. But there's something between there. I'm just wanting to know. Now, if you're in the space before SpaceX IPOs or Blue Ocean, you also got Maxar. Maxar is one of my favorite stocks. I personally bought like $12, but again, this stock is pretty underrated. It makes up most of the if you go UFO on Robinhood or any investment app, UFO is basically an ETF for space stocks, and Maxar makes up a huge portion. It did have space in it, but again, I just want to point out, we do not have traveling to Mars. We don't have traveling to the moon right now for commercial. But again, this evaluation is all going to be, I believe it's going to go down to $12 because we did hit it. It's potentially, we can go to $9. I think that Virgin Galactic is still in a bubble because they're potentially never going to make money. Like, you go here, they're never going to make money. They're always going to be losing money. So I believe that they're never going to make money until like 100 years from now. So this stock is a must stay away stock. Unless you want to speculate, buy a few shares. But if you're going to buy this, I'd rather people buy UFO, the ETF. That one is way better. Now, another stock I'm in, this is a penny stock. If you want to, a little about NSPR. Right now we're going to look at where NSPR is at. So NSPR is trading in quite range. Now you're saying, oh wow, this is super volatile. What's going on? What is this? So NSPR creates a stroke device that saves people's lives. So And they said there's research, there's data that's being done. And so this was a FDA IDE approval. It pumped and dumped because everyone was expecting it way back here, but it got it up here, but it never passed. So the question is, where's it going to go right here? And as you know, I've drawn support around the RSI. It has gained support as it dips lower but higher. So there is a potential breakout today or tomorrow morning. So a little about the stock. So they're creating a thing called CGuard, which helps strokes and stroke patients, and they just launched in Brazil. So their earnings report that's coming out in 61 days, you're gonna see profits. There's already sales in Brazil. So the question is, why is the stock getting beat down? Well, it's because of a bunch of uncertainty. It was an FDA IDE approval. So technically the stock should be going up. But I just want to put this on the radar that this stock is only, the valuation of this company is like 11.6 million, as you see right there. So it's going to be interesting to see this stock in the future. Personally, I honestly just YOLO all my my Robinhood money on this stock, because in the end, if you don't look at the valuation, you don't look at the market cap, you just look at the company, and you look at the product, you question, why is it down so much? What is driving this price down? Now, there is one thing I would like to say. Let's hide my lines. That the dump from this dump right here was a public offering, and so we are below the initial dump. So is that bullish? That means that we're oversold and we pumped. So right now we're just going sideways. People don't really know what's going on, but that at 80 cent range down was a public offering, so they could have enough money to supply their FDA IDE research. And so right now they're sitting on more money than ever, and they only lose about like 200,000, but they're sitting on like $15 million. So their market evaluation is under what they're being used as. So I just want to point this out people's radar that I don't know the future of the stock. The stock is traded on not the NASDAQ, but it's traded on AMEX. So it is a low penny stock. But again, the product, I personally took the gamble. I think it's going to be big, because it's already down so much. How much lower can this thing get? To be honest, I really don't know. But if you look up the past on the daily, you could see that it had a bunch of reverse stock splits because its market valuation, their pricing was way too high. That's besides that. Okay, that's the one stock I'm talking about. Now another space stock you could be looking at. This is owned by Boeing. Now the stock has been sitting around this low $20 range. Again, I think it's a buy when it goes under 20, just because how it looks. But again, this is Boeing's space technology company. That's what they do. They do a lot of stuff for space. So it's an interesting stock if you want to also dip your toes in the future of space. So maybe buy a couple shares of this stock. I don't know how big it's going to be, because recently they announced they're laying off like 1,400 employees. So it's going to be interesting. And this is just a trading range we're trading, but right now we are trading at a lower range, 21.47. Going as low as 18.87. So it's going to be interesting. Another stock we talked about before, the stock doing jack crap. Again, oil's up. Natural gas is down. I guess holy crap, natural gas is down 10%. I don't know the news on that. Looks like that's high volume that dumped it. And that's good for gas prices. Gold is trending downward right now. It's around this, I guess it's trying to build support right here. That's my best guess. high volume sell, high volume sell, high volume buy. So they're trying to build up this VPR level right here, build it as support, creating an uptrend line. Silver, again, not doing much. Nasdaq, oh, this is Japan. Let's see where it went to. Yeah, it's just trading sideways, nothing much. The US market, we had a massive dump and then we pumped, so we could call this, oh yeah, this is our red zone that we put. Holy shit, it hit it. That's pretty cool, because this red zone right here was a double bottom and we pumped, then we hit it again, and now we're pumping back up. So should you be bullish on the stock market? I believe in it. If you believe that companies one day will come back and make money, you should buy any stock that you know, not like the penny stock I buy, but like a stock you know. Maybe buy Apple, maybe AMD. It's just all up to you. And we're gonna go take one more look at Bitcoin before I see ya. Okay, so right now Bitcoin is trying to pump above the downtrend line, but it is struggling to get above it right now. As you know, there's high buy volume coming in. Yeah, this was its hit right here, so it is gaining support right there. It is gaining support at the high VPR levels. So that's all I have today. Oh yeah, fear and greed index. Fear and greed index is up, so people are now neutral. They're like, oh, maybe we're going back to 11K. And this dump is just to buy the dump. But again, it's really hard to say, because right now this downtrend line was created right here, then we pumped above it, and I talked about how we had like a hidden bearish divergence like right here, but it turned out we rolled over a little later, because after the first dump, personally, I don't know, maybe we could test this 10,643. So before you get in your long, I recommend just watching, waiting. I would personally maybe going along at 10,931. That is probably a good entry point for you. But besides that, there's not a lot to go off of right now, because this is speculation. Was this the high from Kraken and then we just dumped today? And then looking at Grayscale, I don't know. It's going to be interesting if we're going to hit 9K or not. So after that, I just want to say peace out and see ya.